Hello guys, welcome back to another video. I hope you all are having a great day. I am feeling exhausted today. I don't know what it is lately. I just feel like with having to work with a mask and just having to wear masks a bunch of places, it just is making me feel a lot more tired these days. Am I the only one who's feeling this way? Is anybody else finding that? It's just the breathing. You know what? I would rather wear a mask. I'm not gonna lie to you. Don't get me wrong, it does not hinder me that much that I'm oh, I can't wear a mask. I'm more than fine when I wear it during my 8-hour shift.
A few moments later.
It's just tiring. It just makes me feel sleepy, you know? So yeah, your girl's feeling like she needs to take a little bit of a nap. But we have a really fun video coming up for you guys. I don't know why I say we, as if it's me and my team. You're looking at her. This is the team. I'm such a nub. So yeah, today I have a really exciting video coming up for you. Originally I had planned to do this in 1 to 2 parts. I was like, oh, maybe I'll just do one longer video on all the coats. Yeah. You guys, that would actually take me a year to edit that video because there's so many coats. So I've decided to make it a little bit easier on you guys that I was going to split it into 3 parts. So we're gonna start off this video with our bestseller, the most asked about, the Super Puff. And the reason I wanted to cover the Super Puff is because I know it sounds like I'm talking about just one jacket, but there's a billion versions of it this year. We have the shorty, we have the regular Super Puff, we've got the midi, and we have the long, and that's just lengths. Never mind the fact that we've got matte, liquid shine, shiny gloss, we've got iridescent, we have the whatever else. But yeah, there's just there's so many different variations of the Super Puffs. So yes, I hope you guys are excited because I'm excited. I spent so much time putting this together, so I hope it really breaks down the jackets for you guys. If you have any questions, please leave them below. I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you guys have. Once again, please remember to like and subscribe because I love making these videos for you guys. I truly hope that these are helping. Obviously, being someone who works for Aritzia, I get tons and tons of training on all of these coats. So especially when it comes to the Super Puff, there's so much that goes into the technology of a Super Puff, you guys. It's not even funny. I wanted to share a little bit of that with you guys in kind of bite-size, easier chunks. So then that way, while you guys are shopping, hopefully it makes it easier for you guys to choose, obviously, the right coat for your lifestyle. And yeah, I really don't want you guys to be disappointed in your purchases because I feel especially for coats, no matter where you buy your coat from, it's an investment. If you decide that you're buying a super sale coat at the Bay, you're still spending $200-300, which is it's a big chunk of change, right? It's a lot of money to spend on a coat. At the end of the day, I want to make sure you get the right coat for your lifestyle because nothing is worse than spending $300 and realizing, yeah, this coat was really cute, but it's not what I needed and doesn't really suit what I need. Again, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Oh, exciting announcement. I almost forgot to announce this, which I really should. I want to thank you guys because officially we are at 1,000 subscribers. Woo! Thank you guys so much. It's been super fun connecting with all of you in the comments and getting to meet some of you in store. Obviously, I have a huge passion for Aritzia and a huge passion for just outfits, for figuring out clothes and just making you feel good. So yeah, I really hope that you guys have been enjoying this. I'm excited for the content that we're going to be creating over the next little while because just each video is becoming more and more fun and we're kind of getting to do different things that I haven't been seeing on the internet myself that I was man, I really wish I had someone doing this for me. You know, I just took on the responsibility myself. Just kidding. Lame. Okay, I need to turn this because the deer is just low-key walking across the street. Can you see it? He just walked all the way over. Just having the best time of his life. Bye, Bambi. Okay, so before I get started on each individual puff, I wanted to cover some information that pertains to every Super Puff. So number 1, each Super Puff contains 100% responsibly sourced goose down. Number 2, all coats are lab tested to determine their warmth rating. So whenever you see that they're good up to a certain degree, they are actually tested in a lab to make sure that they are going to be warm for you. So they are not a BS warmth rating. Number 3, They are a 700 downfill power, aside from the vegan Super Puff, as obviously that is not downfilled. Number 4, all Super Puffs will also be 90% goose down and then 10% goose feathers, aside from the Repuff, which is our recycled puff. That is 80% recycled down and then 20% waterfowl feathers. One thing that a lot of people have really asked about the Repuff is, hey, what's really the biggest difference? I would say visually, one of the biggest differences is it is a lot less puffy. And I honestly think that's just due to the waterfowl. Because waterfowl is a lot smaller of a bird, you're getting a lot smaller feathers. So the clusters are just not going to be as big as they will be in the goose downfilled. So yeah, you're going to find that the Repuff is going to be a lot less puffy. However, just because the clusters are smaller doesn't mean that it's any less warm. So that's one of the things that when I actually tried on and wore both the Super Puff and the Repuff, I found the Super Puff and the Repuff were literally exactly just as warm. They do have the same warmth rating as well. They're both up to -30 in the regular length. So keep that in mind when you're looking for, or if you are looking at the Repuff. Anyways, moving on. Number 5, they are all machine washable. This is such a good bonus. The fact that you don't have to go take it dry cleaned. One thing I would recommend, please, 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 you guys, read your garment instructions on how to wash it. It is on the, I believe, the left hip pocket. It's either the left or the right. Obviously, there's only 2 options. But yeah, it's inside like a little pocket. It's going to match the exact color of your Super Puff. So just look for that weird little pocket, and it's got your garment instructions inside that. A lot of things to take note of before you actually wash. It requires very little detergent when washing. You don't want to give it too much detergent, otherwise you're just going to have a lot of residue left on your Super Puff, and that is not great. You're also going to want to tumble dry low. This is a super important step to put it in the dryer. A lot of people feel like, hey, I want to be delicate with my Super Puff, so I'm going to wash it and then I'm going to hang it to dry. That actually is going to cause you more problems down the line than it is going to save your Super Puff, just because goose down takes quite a long time for it to actually completely dry. There's been times where people have come in being like, hey, I bought my Super Puff, I wore it a bunch, I loved it, I washed it, and then after I washed it, it just wasn't the same. It just like completely reeks, doesn't have the same like feel, and that is because obviously it didn't completely dry and it grew some mold, which is really gross, so you don't want that. So make sure that you put it in the dryer, just tumble dry on low, and then if you toss a clean tennis ball in the dryer with it, it will actually bounce and help fluff up that down. So it'll help it dry completely. Let's move on. We have the Shorty Puff coming up first. All right, you guys, so before we get started on the Shorty Puff, I wanted to mention for reference, I am 5'5", I'm about 110 pounds, and I typically wear about a double extra small or a double zero at Aritzia most of the time. So yeah, just keep that in mind, obviously just for sizing and proportions. But yeah, either way, the Shorty Puff. I love the Shorty Puff. It is so cute, so casual, and I really, really like where it hits. Here I am wearing the Shorty in the modern taupe in an extra small. I'm someone who typically wears everything pretty oversized in the winter because I'm always cold, so I'm usually layering a ton. Plus I'm on the taller side, so I find usually coats in my true size tend to be a little too short. This coat does come in a triple extra small all the way up to a 1 extra large. And yeah, that goes throughout all of the Super Puffs as well. Okay, so here I am still wearing the Shorty, but I'm wearing it in the black and in a medium. The medium is cute, but I think it's maybe just a little bit too oversized on me because I have quite small shoulders and I have quite small hips. So anytime I'm looking at like, okay, is this oversized or am I actually just drowning? I usually gauge how it fits in my shoulders and my hips. So I think the small might be like that perfect oversize on me. But yeah, either way, one thing I love about the Shorty is really the length. Obviously, it's nice and short, so it hits you right above your hips. That's another reason why I think that the small would be perfect. I find if it hits you at the right spot, it really helps elongate your body, especially if you're short, versus the original. It hits just below the hips, which I find can potentially be just a little bit too low. It can kind of make you look a little bit too boxy. So if you have it just a little bit higher, right above your hips, it still gives you a little bit of shape and cinches you at the hips. Either way, these guys are lab tested with a warmth rating of -20 degrees Celsius or -4 degrees Fahrenheit. They are water repellent, wind resistant in this material, which I am wearing the matte material. It has a removable hood, and it also has these really nice cozy fleece lined pockets. Like they're like just really nice and soft. One complaint I will say is that if I have my phone that's like in a case, it's really tough to slide your phone in. However, if your phone's not in a case, or if you do have like more of a harder shell case versus like the silicone, you're not gonna have any issues with it. One thing to keep in mind when ordering your coat is your own preferences. I feel like a lot of people, whenever you go online, it's really hard to remember what you prefer without actually being able to see it. So a couple things to ask yourself before you actually put in an order is, okay, how do you wear things? Do you wear things more fitted? Do you prefer a looser fit? Are you taller? Do you have a longer torso? Do you have a shorter torso? Are your legs longer? Like those are really big things to consider, especially when ordering online. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Lots to consider. Let's move on to our next Super Puff. All right, so moving on to the OG Super Puff, you guys. Here I'm wearing a small in the matte pearl, and it's actually such an elegant color. I really like how well it goes with things that are not only darker, but things that are also lighter. So if you want to do like a nice monochrome moment, Either way, this one is a little longer in length than the Shorty. It's hitting me just below my hips. And yeah, it's super lightweight. That's one thing that I've just been really impressed at with these jackets, is just how lightweight they are while being super warm. Like I find I don't need to layer as much. I kind of expected, I'm like, oh, perfect, I want to size up because I need room to layer, which realistically it's nice when I want to, but at the same time, you definitely don't need to in order to be warm. Having that extra space creates this little air pocket and it keeps you so toasty. Either way, lab tested warmth rating is minus 30 degrees Celsius or minus 22 Fahrenheit. These guys are also water repellent and wind resistant because I am once again wearing the matte material in this one. It does have a removable hood. They have the soft feel storm cuffs with the thumb holes. Hello. So nice. Keeps your little fingies warm. Or not your fingies, your palms of your hands. Yeah? Anyways, an adjustable waistband, which is really nice for cinching. Depending on the height of your torso, the Super Puff may not always be at the best length for you. So the nice part is it does have an adjustable waistband for cinching. So you can always cinch it in, bring it in a little bit higher and adjust that height. And when in doubt, you can make yourself a Shorty Puff, you guys. Hello, best of both worlds. Be a little bit puffier, but cute. If you do that, send me a DM, send me some pics. I really would love to see how everybody styles this. But yes, that was the OG Puff. All right, baby, we are on to the mid Super Puff. So Pow has really sold me on this red. I am not joking. I am not someone who ever wears color. I would have never thought I would have worn red. Red is not in my wardrobe whatsoever. Maybe like a toasty orange, maybe kind of like a reddish orange, but yeah, definitely not red. But what's new? Pauline literally tells me on anything she wears. But yeah, just it pops, you guys, and in the best way. Like it does, it just looks chic. I don't know, I don't get it. Either way, the midi is a great style to go with if you want something that is a little bit longer, but not too long. So yeah, it hits me right around my like mid thigh, upper thigh, and like upper thigh, and just under my butt. I decided to wear a small in this one just to give me a little bit of extra length. One nice thing about the extra length is that you'll get a little bit more warmth. The midi covers you from minus 30 degrees Celsius or minus 2 degrees Fahrenheit. And despite being on the longer side, the Super Puffs are all quite lightweight. Yeah, that's a nice part, is no matter what length you go for, even the long Super Puff, they're super light. Like the rest, the matte material is water repellent, wind resistant, they all have removable hoods, and it has a soft feel storm cuff. But yeah, that is the midi. Okay, you guys, moving on to my favorite Super Puff, or at least my favorite Super Puff this year, which is the one I purchased, the long puff. I ended up getting mine in the high gloss black, and initially I really wasn't a fan of the high gloss black because truthfully, when it's on the hanger, it looks kind of like a garbage bag. I'm so sorry, I don't mean to insult anybody out there, but like anybody who bought it, you know, I bought it, I still like it, but it kind of looks like a garbage bag when it's not on. Whenever you put this thing on, it just has this magical power of making any outfit look styled, and like the garbage bag goes away. You won't even notice it, it's beautiful. I also find that after wearing it, the shine does dull down, so like when you first buy it, not gonna lie, Bish is pretty shiny. She is gleaming. But now that I've been wearing it and like sitting in my car and like I obviously brushing up on things, making it dirty, it is not as crazy shiny. Little story about me buying this coat. So when I first bought it, I bought it in the double extra small, which is again my normal size, which is what I'm wearing here in the first one. And I didn't try it on in any other size. I just like put the double extra small on, figured, hey, it's my normal size, this looks fine, this is comfortable, I've got room, I'm wearing a sweater, this is great. So I wear the coat for like a week, and I come into work to film this literal try on, and my coworker Sim, who is like, her and I are pretty similar in size and similar in height as well. She says to me, she's like, girl, I bought a medium. And I was like, you bought a medium in the Super Puff? I'm like sitting here like, what the heck? Why? How is you, what? Actually, I'm still like rattled about her buying the medium. And I was like, yeah, why did you buy the medium? That's huge. Like, you're going to be drowning in it. So I was like, why did you go up in size? And she mentioned, although that we're like really small, she's like, we're tall, girl. Like, going up in size gives you a lot more length, which is something I actually didn't really notice when trying on the puff. So obviously when I came back and I started looking at my coat during this try on, I noticed, okay, the buttons go so high up on my thigh. And since I wanted it for walking the dogs when it was really cold, I was like, ah, dang, I think I want more coverage. I think I want to size up. And here's where she realized she made a big mistake. I tried on the medium, and me and Pau are literally both looking at the medium thinking like, yeah, girl, this is a better size. It's really puffy, but at the end of the day, they're all really puffy. So I wanted to have that length, and the one thing I found is the side buttons to give you that like little bit of extra air if you want it, and to give you that extra movement. They opened up a lot lower, like closer to like my knee, which was just a lot better of a fit for what I was wanting. Also fit my preference because again, I wear things so big. Luckily, my mom, who is just so sweet, she ended up taking that one for me because she likes things a lot more fitted. So when she tried on the double extra small, it ended up being a better fit. She was like, yeah, honestly, I wouldn't want things any longer. Lucky for me that happened because obviously I could not exchange it due to me wearing it for a week. Sad. That is the super long. All right. Now getting to some of our specialty puffs, the Liquid Shine. So this is truly a luxurious super puff. The material is just so soft and it looks like velvet in person. I find on the website, the photos just like don't do it justice. It makes it look kind of closer to like the high gloss or the shiny. It's definitely like a velvety look in person. Either way, I find it to be a lot heavier than the regular super puff. I am wearing the Liquid Nocturnal Blue in a size small. But yeah, it's just a really cool coat. I will say my favorite one in the Liquid Shine is the Matte Pearl. It's just like, it's super subtle in comparison to the blue, and it's just like really elevated, really beautiful, really nice. And again, for that like monochrome outfit, sister, that is the way to go. One thing to take note, because obviously you have that velvety texture to it, these are gonna be water repellent and wind resistant, which is really nice. So it should actually just like beat off the Super Puff. However, if you're going to be using it in like just damper climates, you may actually like the either full-on H2O Super Puff a little bit better, or potentially going for like the matte or the high gloss instead. But yeah, either way, this is the Liquid Shine. Definitely one to put on your list if you are wanting another Super Puff for sure. All right, so moving on to the Cloud Puff here. The Cloud Puff is honestly a more elegant Shorty Puff, and one thing I love about it is just like the detail, the funnel neckline, the chevron quilting. It just really dresses up this coat. And the one nice thing is I feel like it's a puffer you can wear with nicer things. It's a puffer you can wear with like a long dress and it's not gonna look strange. Especially the Shorty, you guys, if you're ever wanting to pair like a coat with a dress, you either want to do something that's like above the hip, so then that way it doesn't cut off your figure and kind of cinches you, or you want to do something that is super long, so in that way it obviously goes with the flow of the long maxi dress, baby. Cloud Puff is one of my favorites. Ever since Ari debuted it, last year, she actually has the midi in the white, and I was just like, dead queen, yes, I obviously need this. One thing I love, it has a slightly suede feel to the exterior, but the one thing is it still maintains its durable, repellent finish, so it keeps you dry, sister, which is really nice. I know a lot of the times when you look at like the puffs and you're like, oh, it's suede material, and you're like, I live in Winnipeg, or you live somewhere where you're like, the weather gets really rainy or gets whatever, you want something that still is realistic. This at least is still going to maintain it and stay dry. In this video, I'm wearing the Shorty in a medium, which is quite puffy. I'd probably do the small if I wanted it to be oversized, but I do think it still is quite cute in the medium. It's just like oversized, cute, cozy. Because it's a Shorty, one other thing, it will keep you warm up to -20 or -4 degrees Fahrenheit. Doesn't come with a hood, you guys, so if it is your primary jacket, definitely would potentially go for something with a hood if you live in a colder climate. But if you don't, if you live in a climate that's like a little bit warmer through the winter, or if you have days obviously that aren't consistently cold, definitely a great secondary jacket. It does come in 3 different lengths. So as I mentioned, Ari's got the midi, I'm wearing the shorty, and then there's also a maxi this year, which is great. And then it does come in a bunch of different materials. I also wanted to show you the midi cloud. So I am wearing the stone taupe in the size extra small. The stone taupe in person is quite like purple. It has like quite a bit of a lilac look to it, less taupey. Due to the material, one thing to keep in mind is these do feel a lot heavier than the Super Puffs. They don't feel like heavy in the sense of it's like, oh, this is a really heavy jacket. It just like feels, it's not as light, it feels a little bit more heavy duty. The cloud also comes, like I had mentioned, in different materials. It comes in corduroy, recycled taffeta, and it also comes in crinkle tech as well. And then it comes in this like kind of suede material, which I am obsessed with. So that's a cloud puff. Last but not least, which one was your favorite? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to know. All right. So I am back home, and that was the puffers and parkas video. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative. Definitely turn on the notification bell if you can, because I will have a video coming out next week that is going to be focused on peacoats. And then I'm also planning on doing another denim video, but with a different brand this time around. So keep your eyes peeled, honeys. And yeah, if there's anything that you're wanting to see in the next couple of weeks, just send me a message or leave a comment in the comments below. Because yeah, I'd love to hear what you guys were wanting to see. I'd love to hear what you guys are shopping. And please comment if you end up buying a barca, woof. Please comment if you end up buying a parka. Let me know which one you ended up getting, because I'd love to know. There's so many different styles. So yeah, I'm always interested to see what people are liking, what they aren't liking. And yeah, thank you guys so much once again for tuning in. And until next time, I'm gonna go eat because I'm starving.